Hello and welcome to Watercooler for May 22nd, 2020. The show where I, Chris Loxamana, hang out with my Corolla digital buds virtually, kick it Philly style. With me today, Gary Smith.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Gary? You know.
I know. Are we getting right into it?
We have some gloating to do, but we'll get into it in a moment. Now,
Why'd you disable screen sharing?
Did I?
Yeah, it won't let me do it.
That's weird.
Gee, do you think they're gonna share something and gloat about it, Dawson?
I don't know why it's not letting you do it. Matt Fondiler's here. What's up, Matt?
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
It doesn't prove their point, though.
Yeah, just
Wow, that's a hot take.
and Mike Dawson.
Well, you know, 76% of the Nazis thought they were doing the right thing.
Okay.
Oh, God.
All right, Matt, Mike.
It's going to get heated today, folks.
Caelan Biehn is not here at the moment. He will be signing on in a little.
How convenient.
I gave him a 1 minute notice, maybe less. So he's running to get his laptop because I'm in Houston right now. We're going to go get lunch. So I pushed up Watercooler, and I didn't even have Kaelin on the chain, in the email chain anyway. I just forgot. So that's on me.
Are we technically kicking it Houston style today
No.
instead of Philly style, or it's still Philly style?
I'm kicking it Philly style in Houston. So,
Okay, just want to make sure.
But anyway, I got a haircut. Got my hairs did.
Looks good.
Oh, wait,
buddy.
that was my
You
show
got a
and tell.
steak too.
I did get
Yeah, how was dinner, dude?
Save it for Shea Fondiler.
It's been a pretty interesting trip so far. Get to the airport. I mean, you heard it on the Corolla show, Adam, with his flask. And then we get on. The airport's very, very empty. Everything's closed. You know, none of the shops, none of the places to eat are open, and it's quiet. And then we get on the flight. Everyone has their masks. They're not serving any drinks, any nuts, anything. It's just really
How full was the flight?
How what? Oh, okay. So we did.
How full was the flight?
Southwest is open seating, and the flight was a little less than half full, but I think it was sold out, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So that's how their social distancing is. They're not.
Yeah. The rules were no middle seats can be used unless you're in a family. Then they actually encourage you to sit all in the same row. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it was just a pretty easy flight. I was really nervous. I don't know, just because I was in a plane, and planes make you sick already. like even before this, like they're notoriously known to as a cesspool of disease. So yeah, I had the mask on the whole time, wiped down my tray. Some people are a little more lax. I saw a lady with a mask and just took her tray out and just rested her head the entire time, her cheek on there. I thought that was kind of an interesting move. But he got off the plane,
Weird.
and right when we got off in Texas, about 50% of the people in the airport were wearing a mask. And then, I already being in a land of exposed mouths right when we get off the plane was very apparent. Then we get to the hotel.
Is that what's on their license plate? Houston, the land of exposed mouths.
What I thought was funny is there was a big billboard of a mayor and another guy wearing a mask, and it was like Mayor Stephen Smith wearing his mask, encouraging people to wear masks, and then next to him was Slim Thug, and he was wearing a mask, and they had to put in parentheses and American rapper under his name, just because you have to. I guess you had to explain. Plus, I didn't know who Slim Thug was anyway. But yeah, they're still encouraging people to wear masks everywhere. You wearing a mask? I wear my mask outside, and I mean, for the most part, it's just everything's open. So I think what it is I got a glimpse of what California is going to be once things start reopening, to where masks are still encouraged. Everyone's social distancing signs everywhere, and like when I got the haircut, I walked in, I had to sanitize my hands in front of them. Then they took my temperature. They had like that forehead laser temperature.
Which, by the way, if anyone who has a baby knows that those things don't work for shit.
Good to know.
Those things are garbage. If you do the forehead and then you do the ear, you're gonna get like a 3-degree variance. The forehead ones are dog shit. I get it that they're more sanitary than having to stick one into every person who comes into the hairdresser's ear, because then you have to change the tip and that gets expensive. But those forehead ones are not great.
Let's just be glad they're not making us all check our temperature rectally. That's really what's coming, you guys.
Yeah.
That's the only way to really be sure.
And then they gave me one of their masks to put on, like a disposable one. So I took off mine, put on that one, because she's cutting my hair and she has to get to the sides. So I have to loop it off and then hold the mask over my mouth while she gets the sides done. They came in and I took off, when I switched masks, I saw my beard and they go, "Oh, you don't want a beard trim, do you?" Because they really were, because I guess they've been getting that a lot. And no beard trim still, nothing, no face trimming there at all. Let's see, went to the restaurant last night. Everyone had masks. At the comedy club, everyone had masks. Well, not the audience didn't have masks, weirdly enough. They took them off because you have to eat and laugh. But so all the patrons at the restaurant and the comedy club did not wear their masks while they were sitting, but all the staff wore masks. And let's see what else. But it was weird being at that restaurant last night because it felt like nothing other than the servers wearing masks. I wouldn't have noticed a difference. It was all, yeah.
Were the menus disposable?
They were paper menus, yes. I didn't even notice, but it was like a nice paper, so I didn't even realize it. Yeah, disposable menus. I heard
They probably at a place like Mastro's, they just have the nice paper cards that they slide in anyway, right? So they just give you those cards instead.
That's exactly what it was. But it was double-sided, but it's that same material. And then let's see. So, but everything else is normal. People were coming in like they were hugging each other. They were talking. People were sitting at the bar top. Whereas I heard from my friends who work at restaurants, California's talking about converting entirely to disposable plates and silverware, and they're going to use plastic, which totally negates all the paper straws that we've been using for the last year or two.
Well, you can't do that at every restaurant. How are you going to slice up a nice T-bone with a plastic knife?
Yeah, see, I don't know, but there's like protocol already for like people, and they're not going to let people sit at the bar top. So even when you just go to a bar, it's all going to be table seats, and you'll have a server, which will be interesting. That's just at least what people who I know work at restaurants. That's what they're discussing with their businesses right now. So it's a little different, but yeah, yesterday everything was normal, and it was just weird. Like if it was weird how normal it felt, and it felt wrong. It just felt wrong. Like, wow, this is weird, but it felt really nice too at the same time. So I don't know. It's I'm just really excited to get back to normal in California. But as far as here,
that's not gonna happen any fucking time.
Yeah, I'm like really depressed hearing this so far.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, I got a haircut. August put it best. He's like, we came all the way to Houston to run errands because right when we got to the hotel, August just went driving away to run some errands and fix his glasses, get a haircut. So it was, yeah, it's been pretty interesting so far. I mean, I've only been here for a day, but it's already weird. I don't know what's cool and what's not. Can I wear my mask here? Should I not? I mean, obviously I'll be wearing it to as many places as possible, but it's just, yeah, I'm just eager.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look who's here.
What's up, Sour Shoes?
Those listening, Caelan Biehn just came in. He's muted. Should I unmute him, or is he going to do it? I hate unmuting other people because right when I think, okay, they're muted, I should just unmute them myself, and then I unmute them. But they do know they're muted, and then they click it, and then we're just going back and forth.
I didn't know I was muted, but yeah, that was on me.
I should have done it there. Anyway, welcome back, Kaelin. We missed you last episode.
Missed you guys.
Yeah, and the Caelan Challenge, sweeping the nation by storm. Have you seen any of the submissions?
I haven't. No, not yet. Just one by my brother, who was very curious.
Well, we'll get into that maybe next episode. We'll give people a little bit more time because they are submitting though, and it's pretty. And I am worried because there is a moment where I really think you did take them off, and they're getting it right. So you did. It was a little more obvious than we thought.
Oh, okay.
But speaking of the Twitterverse and online and the social media, we had a debate, Kaelin, and I was about to text you this, but I wanted to get your thoughts on air. And I'm sure you probably haven't been seeing the hubbub because you're not on Twitter. But
He has no idea.
No clue.
Here, you know what? We can just show Kaelin, visually
Picture.
how the debate started, and I'll share it here.
There you go.
Oh.
It's only fair.
Now, first of all,
I'm not even going to say anything. I'll just read
Kaelin, before you
the picture. Food debate: square or triangle? That's it.
Now, first of all, Kaelin, what's wrong with this before we get to the actual question that is posed?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yep.
Well, on the right, that's not
Right, off
squares.
to a great start.
What?
On the right, that's not squares. Those are rectangles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
there's
scoff,
square
Kaelin.
edges or square
I like
corners.
Kaelin.
We know what it means.
Good job, Kaelin.
So do you want me to weigh in?
Weigh in, my friend, and tell us why.
I don't have a good reason why, but I'm rectangle. I don't want to
hear why. Then you don't.
Yeah,
Great
good
job.
job, Kaelin.
Just to cut down the middle.
You're in the
It
correct
just makes sense.
majority.
Chris, go ahead and use that
minority.
mute button.
Is everyone rectangle except for Chris?
No, not
There's an
everyone.
barrier.
Only the
You would think
monsters.
so. Kaelin, you
Only
would
the
think so.
monsters
You would
among
think
us.
All of us would be rectangle because
And that's the way their
just makes
mommies
sense.
used to cut them when they were growing up. And that's the way they cut their sandwiches now.
Kaelin, it's not a good sign, guys, when Kaelin opens with, I don't have a good reason.
Yeah.
He just went with his instinct. There's a book by Malcolm Gladwell. It's called Blink, and it's all about the importance of that first subconscious second, even before you're consciously aware of what's going on. Subconsciously, you'll know if something's off or you'll know if something's right or wrong. Great book and a great decision by Kaelin. I stand by both.
Fuck out of here.
Well, let's see if Kaelin's vote even
This
matters.
is a great.
Because, Gary put it out on Twitter. He put a Twitter poll with the food debate asking the listeners to weigh in. And it's not looking good. After over 700 votes, we tallied it up. 74% of voters prefer triangles. And keep in mind, you can only vote once. So 26% pick squares. And they're right.
Part of the problem is that
No.
it shouldn't have been squares. It should have been rectangles. We could throw this entire thing out, but I won't make that happen.
You don't want an asterisk. Okay.
No, it's not. It's not that
we
important.
could declare a mistrial.
Yeah, that's what I'm
but,
saying. We could very easily declare a mistrial here because no one would pick squares.
Allow me to say this. I don't care how you eat your sandwich, but we all love pastrami sandwiches from Jewish delis, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. You know, those are always cut directly in half. You know why? Because they're piled fucking high.
Yeah.
And if you pick them up by a goddamn corner and try to triangle that little thing out of your fucking existence, it's all going to fall out. So I'm going to go the Jewish deli route because they are experts at making sandwiches. It's fine if 74% of you guys are idiots.
May I just say to that, l'chaim, sir. L'chaim.
I do love myself a pastrami. I'm so hungry now. Look, the people have spoken. Triangles win. All right, well, guys, it is time for show and tell.
I don't hear any arguments there. I think it's over. I think we've won, Matt. Kaelin.
Everyone knows you can't argue with an idiot.
There's the straw
when it
man
gets to
again.
personal attacks,
Again with
Gary,
the straw man
when
debate.
it gets to personal
throwing names
attacks.
out.
No,
means
the
you're out
attack
of
is
ammunition.
the attack is not personal. The attack is on the stupidity of the idea. I'm not going to try to change your mind, sir. You can stand with the 26% of our audience that is incorrect and go with God. L'chaim.
See, this is.
And
I've been
every
thinking
Jewish
about
deli
this.
in America.
I've been thinking about this, and I realize, Dawson, you probably know what this is like too. When you're gifted, and when you just think about things on a higher level than other people, you're not in the majority. It's lonely. It's lonely like
Matt,
that when you're
you,
that
me,
brilliant.
and
But
Kaelin,
you just have to be okay with it.
We are of above average intelligence, and we will always be in the minority, and that's okay.
Correct. Probably around the 26th percentile.
Matt and Dawson's new podcast, The Circle Jerk.
I love it.
No, it's got to be the rectangle jerk. If it's in it.
There you go. That's
even better.
That's actually great. Good call.
That's
Very
the one.
good call.
I love it. All right, let's do some show and tell. I guess I already went because my show and tell was supposed to be my haircut, which I got one and it was nice, and it feels so cool. My neck, the back of my neck, can finally breathe. Look at that, Kaelin. Look at Kaelin's hair.
Good, man. I noticed, Chris, your hair is so amazingly coiffed and tall. You actually had to tilt your laptop monitor up a little bit extra so we could really get that's right. Yeah, we had to really get the full height of it. Amazing.
I know. I should have went in portrait mode.
Those hotel room patterns on walls, they're always
that's special.
So different, but exactly the same.
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell it's a hotel no matter how where I am.
And if you want your house to look like a hotel, you can find every single one of those patterns at your local Home Goods.
Yeah.
Which Home Goods
true.
is a fascinating store. I mean, you can get some good stuff there. My wife loves it for like furniture. You can get cheap furniture and shit.
Who does?
But my wife. But they sell food. They sell weird art like that. That's not really art. It's just weird designs. They sell furniture. Yeah, they sell a bizarre array of things at Home Goods. Home Goods is a fascinating place. Go with your wife.
I'm a big Home Goods guy right here. I love walking into Home Goods. It's a sister store of my first job, TJ Maxx.
Yep.
So it's TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods.
Oh.
Yeah. So big fan of all those stores, except working at them. I'm a big fan of working at them. But let's do some show and tell. And let's start off with Outdoor Matt.
All right. Well, mine's pretty short. I feel like everybody's contributed, but I got my Dawson flask as well.
Yeah. I don't know where mine is. Nice.
We've all found ours except for Dawson. I love it.
I think I
anyway,
probably gave them all away.
I was so sure that I still had it because I know I've used it before, but I'll be honest, I have several flasks, and over the last couple of weeks, I was trying to see if I could find it, and I finally did. So that's a very short show and tell for people who haven't listened in past episodes. It's like a silhouette of Dawson on it, and it's pretty dope, if I may say so.
Dawson, is it your logo or is it the Los Angeles logo?
They're the same. They're the same. I am Los Angeles. Los Angeles is me.
Oh,
There you go.
All right. Well, great job, Matt. Love the flask, and thank you, Dawson, for getting those for us. As you can see, they're being put to great use. Now I'm very curious because when I mentioned the word show and tell, Kaelin sipped away for a quick second, grabbed something, and then returned. First off, Kaelin,
is it possible he took his pants off?
No, he would have done that on camera.
Yeah. How is everything, Kaelin?
Everything is good. I'm not sure if you talked about it, but my leg is no longer swollen and now the same color as my other leg. So
I didn't mention it at
That's
all.
a good thing when they're both the same color.
Gone back to normal, which has finally relieved some anxiety. But I think all that anxiety caused me to get another canker sore, which I have right now, which is pretty painful. So that's not good. Also, I guess we were doing water cooler today. It's a bit of a separate time, but Gary sent out, an email earlier saying, "Hey, when are we doing water cooler?" And I, I'm of course game to do water cooler, so I just naturally waited for a response and never got one until 25 minutes ago. Chris said,
"Yeah,
we're in water cooler. Let's go." And I go, "Well, what happened to the chain?" He goes, "Oh, I started a new one."
Yeah, Chris, what was that move? Why would you start a new chain? I thought it was ridiculous that you had started the new chain and only Matt was the one who noticed Kaelin wasn't there. Why would you start a new chain at all?
The reason was I didn't know that. I thought Gary sent that to me personally because Matt also sent one to me personally. And I thought, why are all these guys just sending me personally? Why don't we start a group one? And I started a group one.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I messed up. Look,
so
my brain is spinning right now.
This is lunch I was eating. I had to rush home. Totally forgot there was a show and tell today, but luckily there was something sitting on my table just over there that you can go grab. So I'll show it to you now. You guys probably remember like a month or two ago, somebody sent into the studio a bunch of like soap made from like goat's milk or something.
Yep.
Right.
And nobody really wanted it. And at one point I said to Adam, like, what do you want me to do with this soap? Like, do you want it? And he goes, no, why don't you take it? And I said, I don't need it. My uncle makes his own soap. and gives them to me. And that was like the weirdest thing he had ever heard in his life.
He was delighted by that. I was there watching it.
It's a really satisfying response.
It really was.
And here is my uncle's soap.
Dope. Johnny Ringo. I love it.
Dude.
So,
hell yeah.
That's awesome.
That he personally makes that I have a bunch of bars of at my house.
Wow.
That's fucking great, dude.
I don't think it's in stores or anything. He just, again, does it as a hobby, which was very strange to Adam, but Johnny Ringo soap.
You say your uncle is your dad's brother?
Yeah.
So is your uncle a member of Fight Club?
I don't know. He runs a chain of like daycare children's schools. So
Where?
in Arizona.
Fuck.
I had to. I made soap one time for a science project, and I remember putting lard in it. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Lard.
Yeah, that's a big component of soap.
Yeah.
How you do it?
I've made soap too. Maybe I'll make some. Maybe I'll get in the soap making business. Got to get in the pickling business first. I really want to make some pickles. All right. Well, great show and tell. That actually was very surprisingly good. I thought you.
It was surprisingly good. I agree.
Or something.
When you said it's show and tell time, and I realized, it's Friday, we got to do show and tell. I was just gonna show you my leg and say, look, here's my leg. It's not swollen anymore.
Thank God you found the soap.
I saw the soap over there.
Yeah. So the reason Kaelin was not in last episode, I didn't mention this, but Kaelin looks at me and he's wearing his basketball shorts and he's like, "Hey, does my leg look swollen to you?" Huh?
I said, Gary's.
My basketball shorts.
Oh, that's right. Gary's basketball shorts. But Kaelin looks at me and he's like, "Hey, Chris, does my leg look swollen to you?" And I look down and his right leg was significantly more swollen than his left leg. And not only that, it lost a lot of color, so it was pale. And Kaelin's been having some issues with his leg. And he got very freaked out. We measured it. Kaelin found a fabric tape measure, so he asked me to measure his calf. So I measured it, and he's like, "What's the number?" And I remember saying, and right the first syllable of the number, I was like 16. He's like, "Oh, it's worse. It's swollen." And he freaked out, and we sent him home to go to a doctor because we were worried. But thank goodness everything is okay. He had me worried. And that is why Kaelin wasn't in yesterday, and now he has a canker sore. So, Kaelin, one day you will be 100%, and I can't wait for that day. But yeah, we're glad you're okay. All right, Dawson also has a show and tell, and he has a quick flick-in too. So we can do the show and tell, and then the quick-in, or whichever one, your order. Hit it.
So I was looking for something. I realized I didn't have anything for show and tell. So within an arm's length rule, what I have here is part of Alan Parsons' Patch Bay.
Wow. Oh, you guys are your one-off.
Oh, I see.
I got about 6 of these, but these are only used when you have a shitload of outboard equipment.
Yeah.
And you're using a shitload of fucking channels, and so you need to run all kinds of different lines through different kinds of processing. And I don't have that, so I simply have no need for these.
I was thinking the same thing. Are you like one of those 1950s operators?
It is reminiscent of one of those old phone connectors. Yes. Like one of the top row here is in, the top row is either in and the bottom row is out. And it's like, so we're going to take this one out of channel 4 on the console, and we're going to route it through channel 8 here, where I've got a really good compressor.
Yep.
And it's
not to interrupt,
it's fully analog.
Matt getting after it. 1 o'clock, headed for the second beer.
Nice.
I appreciate that. It's Friday. It's Friday, guys.
I do too. I respect it.
Yeah. And then, all right. Well, Dawson, love the Patch Bay. If you don't know what to do with it,
thank you.
Let me know. Maybe I'll buy it off you. All right.
Yours if you want it.
Really?
It's solid. Yeah, I can give you at least. I got to keep 2 behind, but I've got at least 5.
Jeez. All right. Yeah, we'll talk.
So I'll give you 3 of them.
I am interested. Look at that.
You want a quick flicking?
Yeah, let's do a quick
Yeah.
and we'll get our plugs in.
All right. So, as you know, I'm a horror fan. Matt's a horror fan.
Yeah.
Horror.
Last night I was checking out the HBO Go and I saw that Annabelle Comes Home is now on there. Now Annabelle in the series of the Ed and Lorraine Warren, who do all that crazy supernatural investigation
The
shit.
Conjuring.
The film's directed by Gary Dauberman. It's his directorial debut, so we got nothing to base this on. But if you really like horror and you give yourself to it, just try to be scared. Allow yourself to be scared. For about the last hour of this movie, solid, you're on edge and your skin will stand up. It's got a very satisfying ending. I say Annabelle Comes Home is flickable. 6 out of 10 beans.
Wow.
It's so surprising that 6 out of 10.
That this movie has already been flicked previously.
Tell me.
Remember
I'd
the score?
love to review the tape.
Yeah,
That's
Love to
hilarious.
review the tape.
we can't repeat the score, but it was flickable. It is.
I can't repeat the score.
It was
Can't
part
argue.
of, it was part of a rapid fire flick when I went to England and came back. I believe it was one of the movies in that rapid fire.
Well,
You got to be real
one of the
careful
cool
with that
things-
rapid fire flick, Kaelin. Things get
they
crazy
rely
real fast.
a lot in this movie. They rely a lot in this movie on those old tropes, those old horror tropes, but they are trying a few new things. So I give them a little bit of credit for that. It's certainly not worth 7 out of 10 beans, but it's more than 5.
Great.
So
Yeah,
I'd say
I
we
agree.
go back to the tape. We got to go find that, dude. Because
Yeah,
what you said.
Bobo Boy Army. We got fucking.
Somebody's got that.
There's got to be. There's some super fans out there who got to figure that out for us.
And I liked how Dawson said that you kind of have to lean into it and just go with being scared. I don't think I've ever watched a horror movie like that. I'm always hating it. So maybe I'll try to do that and just let myself be scared and try to enjoy it. Because usually when I watch horror movies, I'm just hating life. I'm hating Matt for making me watch this at his house, something like that. And
Well, if you can, it's always good to watch horror films with a dog in the room, because if anything's really going to get you, the dog's going to know first and let you know.
It's true.
okay. Some of the things that I hate with horror movies when the music drops out completely. 'Cause I know something's
You're
gonna
in
happen.
trouble.
Yeah, I'm in trouble there. But maybe I'm gonna start leaning into them because I do remember I really enjoyed reading. Was it The Conjuring?
I don't think
Conjuring
you
was
read
good.
that. You
Well, I read
said the
the
movie
wiki.
Red.
The Wiki.
Oh, you read the wiki. That's right. Yeah,
yeah, I don't watch the movies. But
That's
I
right. You
remember
just read them.
enjoying that story.
The Conjuring is also scary as fuck.
Yeah.
The Conjuring. I think the difference between The Conjuring and Annabelle Goes Home and Comes Home. Excuse me. The reason, Chris, you may enjoy the Annabelle one more is it's a little bit more tongue in cheek. It has a little bit more fun with what's happening. So it's scary, but it's also got some elements of humor in it. Whereas like The Conjuring, which is the first one, that is just straight up will give you fucking nightmares. Like there is no humor in that movie. It's just terrifying the entire time.
And Annabelle Comes Home too. It's almost an anthology because
Yeah.
they dig back into Ed and Lorraine Warren's previous cases, and they make those kind of come to life.
I don't remember.
So
if it
it's
was
interesting, but that I can't say that makes it better or worse. Just
Yeah,
interesting.
I totally agree.
It's either
All
the
right.
first or second Conjuring is based on like a true story of this
Right.
family in England that lives in this house, and I don't remember if it's the first or second one. It's great. It's scary, but yeah, that's freaky too. That it's also just based on this true story that really happened.
I don't know if I like that. And I remember reading Don't Breathe. Is that the one with the blind guy?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
great.
that one.
Yeah,
I couldn't even.
that was all right.
That was hard to
You'll
even
never
read.
look at a turkey baster the same way again.
I'm not kidding. I haven't. I have not. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Well, that'll do it for a water cooler. Let's get our plugs in. Leave you good. Gary, what's wrong? Oh, I forgot to do Gary's show and tell.
Wow, how rude is that?
I was literally questioning myself when you said, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Did I do my show and tell and forget?"
You didn't. Let's do it.
All right, I'll do it real quick. So,
I'm sorry about that, man. I
got a
told you,
little-
I'm a little loopy. I literally had 3 hours of sleep. I couldn't sleep last night. I was tossing and turning.
It's
I
all
don't-
good, dude. So I've got like a 1A and a 1B. So I got a kitty sleeping right there. So there's Macy, the famous Macy, who's dead asleep, hiding from the baby because she knows that the baby doesn't really come into my office very much. But my main show and tell is a guide for the 74% of heroes that are out there.
Yes.
Oh, this is great. I do
This
like
is a way for those who are triangle cutters. This is submitted by our own good friend Mike Chaffee as
Yes.
a way to eat your sandwich. And according to Mike Chaffee, and I will not dispute this, there's nothing more satisfying than a number 3 bite of a sandwich. So there you go.
The number 3
See, and
bite.
you see that, Dawson? The triangle eaters need a diagram of how to eat a sandwich.
Right. That's yeah. They're so entrenched in their horrible point of view. They come up with graphs and charts to try to.
It's so unnatural.
What they
that
don't show
need
you is
to
in
refer
that
to a
same
chart.
picture, everything is going to fall out of those fucking corners before you get to fucking bite one.
See, Gary, this is why I didn't want you to go.
Look,
I
we try to
do-
make
I- honestly,
guides.
though, listen,
I'll
We try to
just
make
set that
guides to
diagram.
convert.
Look, all jokes aside, and Gary Graffs will 100% back me up on this. That is a 100% accurate depiction of how to eat a
Oh, it
sandwich.
is. For sure.
It
I agree
really is.
wholeheartedly. I love that
Yeah.
picture. I really mean that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful thing.
And I agree that number 3 bite as on that diagram is I mean, anytime you have a sandwich, that middle bite is always the fucking best.
Very
It just
satisfying.
is.
Well, yeah. Only a serial killer would disagree with that.
I like the way you look at me when you say that. All right. Well, that'll do it for water cooler. Let's get our plugs in because I got to go eat a sandwich of my own for lunch. So let's start with
Where are you
Mike
going?
Fox.
Wait, in a restaurant? Hold
Yeah,
on.
real fast. Where are you going? Let us live vicariously through
I
you.
don't even know where I'm going. Where am I
Please.
going, Matt? Some
Well,
diner.
it's one of 2 different diners. I'm assuming it'll be the closer one, which was called like the Yolk Cafe or something like that. I can take a look here. It looks pretty good, but I don't know, man. We'll find out. You'll have to let me know how it was.
Yeah. See, we don't use
It's
Yelp. we
called-
use Map.
It's called the Toasted Yolk. The Toasted Yolk Cafe.
Sounds delicious.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Dawson, where could we go for you?
If you follow me on Instagram at Los Angeles, I'm going to be doing more live audiobook readings. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm reading Buck Storm's The Light, and it's a fucking killer story. Set in ancient Jerusalem in the year 1 AD. It's a fictional story about Joseph of Arimathea, which if you went to Catholic school, you know who that dude is. And if you don't, follow me on Instagram and we'll read that shit together.
Look at that. Dawson's giving away audiobooks for free live. So, do you interact? Do you look at the comments that are being typed and stuff?
It's if I see something, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm reading a script and
Yeah. I try not
but
to.
you get all my mistakes and I explain like sometimes I have to look up pronunciations of words because there are a lot of Hebrew-ish type words and I'm like I do not know how to fucking say this.
Yeah. You
And
wanna
so
get-
that'll stop everything down. So you really see the process, but the book is written well that I'm making very few mistakes as I read through it. Which makes it great because there's a lot less to edit, but it's a fun book and I'll be doing these things on Instagram starting very, very soon
All right, can't wait.
at Los Angeles.
At Los Angeles. Matt, what about you?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondiler. Also, just want to say thank you sincerely to all the fans who voted in that poll. It's amazing. I'm sure we'll all agree that 700 people, more than 700 people weighed in on our ridiculous sandwich debate. So that's just amazing to me. So thank you guys for that. And, shout out to Home Goods. I agree with Gary. It's a weird store, but you get some good stuff there.
Mhm.
And last but not least, I've mentioned a few times, the 2 most recent episodes of Sword and Scale are 2 episodes that I wrote and produced, 161 and 162. They're totally different stories, and I think if you're into true crime, you will love them. Or if not, maybe you'll like them too. Give it a shot.
All right, maybe I'll listen to it and lean into being scared.
There you go.
All right, and that's at Matt Fondiler. Gary, what about you?
Daves of Thunder is back on a regular basis, available on YouTube. So go check that out and subscribe. We're a week or two away from being able to create a youtube.com/hopefully Daves of Thunder. There's weird rules. You have to have your channel established for a certain amount of time, but that's coming soon. Also Reasonable Doubt. Tomorrow, as you hear this, brand new episode with Adam and Mark, and then there'll be a little supplemental topper with me and Mark because we had to record it, a little in advance based on Chris and Adam's trip. So me and Mark will do some current events, and then there's a great episode with Adam and Mark. And then please, somebody tweet me and explain how our tweet, the tweet that we sent out with the poll, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Well, I'll just tell you. It says here on the Twitter matrix that tweet has total engagements of 517, despite the fact that there were 711 votes. How the hell is that possible?
Mail-in ballots.
This is such a mistrial.
Russian hacking.
God. This is such an invalid poll. I realize now. Thank you,
seriously.
Gary.
Yeah, Matt, absolutely.
Yeah,
no, I mean, there can't be 26% of assholes in our midst.
All right, Ken, what about you?
Oh, don't worry about me.
All right, don't worry about me either. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.